Hi everyone, this is a screencast for Pocket Parties. What I'm going to go over today is basically a rundown of the app and what it does, what it's capable of doing. I'm not the best videographer, so bear with my poor video skills and narrating skills, but here goes. So upon launching the app, you have a choice of pink or blue. Um, just bear in mind that I'm using a simulator, so some of the things may look a little bit different than what you see in your app. But basically, let's start with the navigation. This is the navigation button on the bottom left, and if you click it once, it opens. Yours will look different. The simulator is doing something weird, but you should have a gray background. When you click on this, it opens and it kind of goes away. If you click on it twice, it opens and you should see words here. Why there's no words, I'm not sure on my simulator, but again, yours should be fine. If you click on this, this is the calculator, typical calculator. Things to note, if you saw these buttons are disabled, you can't do anything with them until you actually enter some sort of number. Once you hit the enter button, those become available to use. 25%, 20%, 15, 10, whatever the percent off that you would like to choose. You can also apply tax and shipping. The tax and shipping numbers actually come from the settings screen. So if you come to this bottom one where the gears are, this is your settings. You can change your tax rate. You can change your shipping to either a percent or a dollar sign. So it can either be like $10 or 10%. You can apply the discount before or after tax and shipping, and then you can apply the tax to shipping if you'd like. Mine are turned off. You can, in the settings screen, since I'm here, you can change your background to blue or green, or blue or pink. Write a review and empty all inventory items. This is if you want to delete everything out of your inventory. These are just your location service if you want the app to be able to find where you are, if you wanted to use Facebook and Twitter. So what we'll do is go down to the second icon, which is called My Team. And My Team is basically so you can track your team members. Your team members are going to look similar to your clients. Usually, at least in my world, I've seen where you first have customers, and then those customers end up becoming team members. So you may find that these, when you add your clients in here, they may become team members, or you add your team members and they become customers as well, because who knows, they may still buy off of you for some reason. So anyway, if you click on the add button, you have options to add 4 different pictures. Some folks said it'd be nice to be able to maybe have a before and an after picture if you're in cosmetology, like a Mary Kay business or something like that. So there's option to add 4 different pictures. I'm just going to do something real quick here. I'm just going to I'll just put my name in and maybe a birthday, and you should get a normal looking spinner. I'm not sure why we're getting some of these weird things. Email, Facebook, Twitter, communication preference. If you choose these, there's actually a reason why those are there. Let me put in some bogus number here. Sure. We don't need any of that. We can put in an email. Sorry. If you're going to add a Facebook name in here, you need to add the http:// facebook.com and then the actual person's Facebook page. Same with this. If you're going to use their Twitter handle, you're going to need to put the twitter.com first. And maybe poor programming, I'm not sure, but this will help you when you're actually trying to use some of the components in the app. I'm just going to go ahead and complete this. I wasn't going to, but I'll go ahead and complete it with some information. And this should help see a couple things. I'm using a keyboard. All right, so check team member, check. I'm not going to be able to add any images because I don't have any on this simulator. Okay, so here's your team member. This looks different than what your phone will look like. But let's go back in there. Okay, so here's some information about the person. Um, this star indicates that it's a team member. You have profile orders and friends. You can edit the information, or if you have images here, you'll see them here. These little dots and in any app indicate that you can swipe something left or right. So if you swipe this left, you can add notes to this person. Maybe you want to say, loves the new, I don't know, eyeshadow, whatever you want to put on here. Just something to help indicate who this person may be. Maybe you want to say that this was a customer that was a bit rude or something. It doesn't matter what you put in here, but it's for your information, for something for you to help identify that person maybe. Or maybe you want to use it for some colors that they like of a bag or something. I don't know, whatever you want to put. You swipe again. There's a couple things here. And this was kind of something that I thought may be handy. You know, each person, you want to try to book a party with them. You want to try to get another party, that way you can get more people. So once you book a party with them, you can check and say, I've done that. Sell them at least one product, you can check that off. Send them a thank you card. You know, it's always nice to send a thank you card to somebody. Follow up on items purchased. So maybe after they buy their product, maybe you want to follow up and ask them how that product is. Send them an offer or promotion. Send them a coupon. Maybe they'll order something again. Maybe in a month and a half, you check and see how things are going, see if they need anything. Check in and get a second order, maybe no later than 3 months. You want to try to knock these out. That will help you with customer retention, keeping your customers, you know, ordering and constantly talking to you and stuff. So I'm going to check book a party and sell at least one product. Let's say I've already done that. If you go into your follow-up section, which if you look at this, it'll actually be this phone here. If you look, there's a couple things. There's nobody in here that I need to book a party with. That's because I've already checked that one person that I've booked a party with. Sell at least one item, I did that already. But if I look here, there's a 1 under send thank you card. If I look, I need to send Dan a thank you card. I haven't done that yet. Once you do it, click and say you've done it. You can go back, it still shows there. Actually, I might have just found a bug. Let's just go back here, follow-ups. Oh yeah, it's showing a 0 now. So now there's nobody there. Again, you can go back into here, and if you do something more, let's just knock all these out except for the last one. If you go back to the follow-ups, there's only one left thing here that we have to do, and that's check in and get a second order. And that would be for Dan. You can also see that, hey, there's a birthday this month. Oh, it's Dan. Of course it's Dan because he's the only person in here so far. But that's all driven by the birthday that you put in here and the check marks that you put in here. Okay, let's go ahead and add a client. If I add a client who is also in here as Dan, because Dan is a team member, but Dan was a customer at one time too, so that's why he's in here. If I delete him, he's going to be deleted off the team. So he's always going to be in there. Let's add another person. We're just going to name this person Emily. I'm not going to put all that information in there. I will keep the birthday for this year. So let's go back into Dan. If I go to friends, I can click add, and I can add Emily as a friend. Maybe Emily was at a party with Dan. So by doing this, it allows me to see who is kind of associated with each other. So maybe sometimes you can, I don't know, you want to see who was with each party or whatever. This takes a little bit of work, and it doesn't work backwards. So like Emily doesn't show friends with Dan. It does. So they're friends. So hopefully that has some benefit. The other thing in here is, so we've got two, I'm kind of fumbling around here, but as you can see that we got 2 birthdays now, Dan and Emily, under the follow-ups. So maybe we want to send them a card or something like that. Let's go back into clients. So the other thing that you can see here is friends, profile, and we didn't talk about orders yet. So orders, this is where we can make fake orders. Now, we could do it from here. We can click on here and add an order, and this will allow us to pick inventory items, but I'm not going to do it this because we haven't dealt with the inventory yet. So let's go there. Well, let's do this real quick. This is a simple to-do list. Go grocery. I'm just going to make a couple things. Do something. Can't even spell, but that's okay. This is just a simple to-do list. I didn't put any dates, timing, or anything like that because we all know that we set up dates and stuff and we always miss them. So I figured, hey, let's just put them on here. If something's higher on priority, you just move it up to the top. If something's lower, you can move it back down. Once they're gone, you just swipe them. Or no, you just hit edit and you hit delete. And you can delete it. Off it goes. So pretty simple there. This section, not a lot of people use it, and I don't think I have it the way I wanted it. But post a note on Facebook. You can post a note on your Facebook. If your Facebook is tied, tweet on your Twitter. Send a text to some or all of your clients that prefer text messaging. This is what that checkbox was inside of your clients. If you go in here and you actually check these things, if I have this checked, I should be able to go back into here and send a text. Now it's going to show me. If I had Emily's phone number in there, which I'm going to do so I can show you. Sorry if I'm moving too fast, but hopefully you're kind of getting the idea. We'll just put that same phone number in there. I'm going to hit save. There's a number. Let's go back. Oops. Into here. If I send a text, I can actually choose both of these, hit send, and what this will do is this will actually open up a text message, and you can send text to both of them. You can select as many as you'd like, and it would send a text message. Again, I'm on the simulator, so it's not allowing me. This, Dan was checked with email, so I can send an email, and I could do multiple people again. And then send a special message to a client or several clients that have not communicated with you in a while. When I made this, I'm not 100% sure. I think this is, if you haven't made an order in a while, I think it just allows you to pick those people, but it may just give you everybody. I'm not 100% sure on here. Again, not a lot of people use this, and I've had a bad feedback on this poke section, so maybe it'll stay, maybe it'll go. All right, inventory. This is the big one. This is the biggest that gets talked about. Again, double click this and it gets out bigger. So inventory. So right now there's nothing in here. You can always add your own items if you click on that plus sign, item, and I have one of those, and the price is $1. Now, a couple things. You can write a description if you'd like, and you can make an image if you want as well. If you choose My Inventory, this was on a request by a couple people, but if you choose My Inventory, this just allows, shouldn't every item that you put in here be your inventory? Yes and no. If you click on My Inventory, all this does is it allows you to filter out the ones that say My Inventory. You can see all items, or you can see out of stock items. If it's zero, if the quantity is zero, it goes away. So the reason I'm talking about the My Inventory, a lot of people choose to download an inventory list. If you click on this button here, you get a list of companies, and I've drawn these from various representatives that have been so kind to pull product names and product prices and put them in an Excel format for me, so I can actually just upload them and put them in here. I'm wondering if my simulator will allow me to download one of these. Let's see. It's probably not going to let me. We'll try this test account. Okay, that didn't work. So that was just if you saw that password, no big deal. It's just a test account for when you're in a sandbox mode, which is developer talk. But anyway, sorry. So what you do is you click on this. If I chose in a pickle, what would happen is it would say loading. It would load all of the in a pickle products and it would dump them into here. So you would not see one item, but you would see probably 20 or 30 or 50 or 300, depending on how many items are in that list. Okay, so all of those items are going to show. If you are a rep that doesn't carry everything but wants to have everything available just in case somebody wants to order, it may be a good idea to choose my inventory on some of them. So I'm going to item 2. I'm going to say there's 2 of these, $2. We're not going to put anything on there. So um, if you choose, so think of lots of items in here. One, I chose my inventory. So you may only want to see what you have in stock or what you have in your inventory and not all the items. So there's all the items and there's my inventory. I hope to have a button on here that eventually you can sort, so you can do A through Z. Um, the reason I didn't do that in the first version was because the search function is so easy to use. So I've got 2 items with I's and a D. If I just type in D, it's only going to filter the D items. So if you have a long list of things, just start typing whatever you need and it'll find it really quick. So it's really easy to do. So it doesn't even matter if it's alphabetical, but some people still like it alphabetical so they can find things quicker or whatever. So I'm going to work on getting a sort button in there. Okay, so now that we've got items in our inventory, we've got 3. I'm going to go into, I'm going to skip over the client section because we've already pretty much done that with the my team members. It's almost identical. So let's go into, well, let's talk about events. Events were made basically for parties. I was thinking that you may want to enter an event. So we're going to call this Emily's Party. And you can use, you can say your host is Emily. You can choose the current location if you like, or type in something. We'll say the current date, the current time. We're going to leave that. And let's just say we're going to invite Dan to that party. So let's see, we don't need to add any notes. So let's just say we're making Emily's Party. So you can create a lot of these events in here. The only thing, this hasn't gotten a lot of attention, which should have, but if you look at this, it doesn't really sort very well. I can change the date and stuff. I need to create a sorting method in here to actually be able to look these up. But anyway, I've created some parties. So let's go back. Let's go ahead and create an order. So let's say we're at a party. Let's say we're at somebody's house. We're at Emily's party, and we're doing a party. So we're done talking about our products, and we want to create an order real quick. We want to give them a what do we want to give them? We want to give them a lost my train of thought. My phone's ringing. Sorry. So anyway, let's just do this. New order. And let's say Dan, and we'll say it's at Emily's party. And let's say Dan ordered one of these. We can choose one. We click add. If we want to add more products, we can go and say we want one of these. So we're okay. A couple things to note in here. I'm going to do one more thing, and I'm going to add one of these Dans, and I'm going to say I'm going to order 5 of these. What happens when I order 5 of these is it turns red. The dark circles mean that it's out of stock. So this just means that some of these are out of stock, and we may need to note that when we are creating that order for that person. We may need to say, hey, I can get these for you, but it's going to be a little bit, and that's kind of thing. So we've got 5 of these. That's $5. We've got this $7, and we've got this, which is $8. So our subtotal is $8. Our tax was set to 10%, and our shipping was 10. So right now the customer's order is $18.80. We can turn off tax if we want. We can turn off shipping if we want, or we can turn them both back on. We can also discount the items. So if I discount this 50%, it still says $1, but it's actually being discounted to 50. So we're knocking off 50 cents, which is indicated here. We can discount these. If we discount these 100%, they get all those for free. So if you need to discount just one of those items, you may need to add it separately. But anyway, you can discount each little item. So once you're done here, you can hit complete. Are you sure you want to hit complete? Hit yes. Do you want to email the receipt? You can. It'll create an email, and it'll actually put the receipt in here. It's not the fanciest receipt, but hey, it works. And then you can hit send. Um, so when you go in, you can choose orders by events. So if you want to look at Emily's party, if there's 10 people from Emily's party, you can actually see all 10 people under the heading of Emily's party. Kind of helpful, maybe, maybe not. There's an issue with closed orders. Let me create one more order and I'll show you what that issue is, just so you're all aware. And don't, so let's complete that. I don't want to send a receipt. So if you look at closed orders, you're seeing 2 orders. It's showing Dan and that's showing Dan. So if you click in both of these orders, they display different, but they're actually pulling the same Dan order. This is a known bug, and I'm working on fixing it. But if you, there's a way that you can get around this. So if you want to find somebody's order history, instead of looking at closed orders for now, I'm going to get that fixed. But if you go to Client and go to Emily, let's say, click on her orders. She doesn't have any orders. Dan has all the orders. If you click on orders, you're going to see 2 orders. You'll see the 2 different orders in this list. This is good because I noticed my wife, she get calls from customers a lot that she didn't know who was who. So when someone calls her, now she can say, oh, okay, your name's Dan. Fine, Dan. When they say, oh, I want to order that last thing that I ordered, you know, that eyeshadow or whatever it may be, you can always click on the last order and see what they ordered. And you can be able to talk the talk and say, oh, would you like to get that item 2 again that you got last time? It just gives you a helpful way to kind of catch them off guard, or catch them that you know them, that that you're being personal with them. You can say, oh, and how did you like X when you bought on, you know, 12/31, you know, did you enjoy this or that? Do you need a reorder of this or that? It gives you a little laundry list of everything that they've bought, and it really helps you find, be personal with them when they call. Um, so I hope that helps. That's about all you can do with the orders. Again, it doesn't pull from anything. It doesn't do, it's not like it takes it from, you know, your back office for your company or anything like that, but it does allow you to come up with quick totals for your customers that you can tell them. And actually what it does is it'll pull from that inventory. So if you look in my inventory, I've got 0, 0, and -4 now. So I know that I'm out of stock of this, out of this, and 4 of these, because I had 1 of these, I think I had 1 of those and 5 of those or something. So I had 1 on hand, or did I have, I think I had 1, but I ordered 5. So I had 1 on hand, so now I'm -4. If you look, again, you can see your out of stock items here. If you click on my inventory, you just see those. If you want to look at all items, again, you can see that. So it kind of gives you an idea of what you have in stock. And if you look also under follow-ups, you'll see here that you have 1 to-do item, but you have 3 out-of-stock items, and those are all out of stock, so you want to make sure that you order those. And the reason why you don't see low stock is because they're out of stock. If something was set to 1, if you go in here, let's just add, let's say I ordered 1 of these. Now you can see, again, let's just do this filter real quick, out of stock. Excuse me. So we're only seeing the things that are out of stock. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm coming over the flu. But if you look here, you'll see the low stock items, which is just that 1. All right, so hopefully this is helpful. The next section that I'm going to talk about is expenses. This is where you can track expenses. So you can add mileage or other. So you can track your mileage, or you can, let's just say you bought a computer today. I'm just going to call it a PC. Let's say it was $3.99. All right. So I save that. It shows up over here. And you can choose an image, and the image would show up here if you did. I'm going to add 1 more other item. We're going to say an iPad, because we're just buying all kinds of electronics. That was $3.29. Hit save. So this gives you a quick total of how much you've spent in the other section. and the same would be for mileage if you hit this. What this does, the one thing that this doesn't do, and one thing that I'm going to work on as well, is being able to choose date ranges to get the totals. So if you click on total, let's say you want to know from first quarter or something, so you can choose January to March or something like that. And then maybe being able to print off this information or email it to you for tax purposes. So that's something that's in the works, something I've thought about, something that was requested. So know that it's coming, know that I'm working on it, but you can start tracking stuff in here now. BP, sure. Let's say I had 30 miles, and let's say there was some cost involved. So 30 miles. So far, I've taken 30 miles. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple to use. Just not a lot of potential since you can't export it. But if you do start tracking this, hopefully soon I will be able to allow you to export those on one of my updates. The last section is maps, which it looks like it just crashed because of the simulator. But maps will allow you to map out your locations, and you should be able to choose multiple, so you can choose your current destination, where you're at, and then you can add multiple locations. So if you're driving to 4 different places, you're making 4 different deliveries, you can actually map all of those in one loop, and it'll just give you a route that you can take for all 4 of them. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully this is good enough. I will hopefully have a professional video for you one day. But again, this was just my 27-minute wow tutorial of how to use Pocket Parties. Good luck, and thank you for purchasing it, and I look forward to 2014 and some new updates.